All right, today we've got a really fascinating story for you. It's about art, it's about technology, and it's about what happens when an artist can finally create the music they've always heard in their own mind. This is about a journey that's spanned decades, and it's reached this really powerful, unexpected destination thanks to a brand new tool. And that quote right there says it all. This is the story of Jeffrey A. Brick. He's a veteran visual artist, he's an author, and he's someone who just discovered the key to unlocking a lifetime of unheard music. It really gets to the core of that struggle so many creatives face, right? That gap between what you can imagine and what you can actually make. So, to really get what a big deal this is, you first have to understand the wall Brick was up against for years. And it's a challenge I think a lot of artists are going to recognize immediately. Think about it like this. On one hand, he had this incredible vision, these big, complex, cinematic soundscapes that sound totally radio ready. But on the other hand, there was the reality. I mean, even though he was an accomplished VJ and an author, the super steep learning curve of traditional music software just kept that vision locked away. And then, everything changed. A huge shift in technology just came along and completely dismantled that barrier. And this wasn't just, some new software feature. It was a completely new way of thinking about how to create. Now, this is what's so cool. Brick's whole philosophy here. He doesn't see generative AI as something that's replacing the human soul in art. Not at all. He sees it as the next logical step in sampling culture. Like a producer digging through dusty old record shops looking for that one perfect sound. For him, AI is just the ultimate infinite record crate. And this tool, Suno AI, became the key. And this is really important. It wasn't about just pushing a button and getting a song spit out at you. It was about having a collaborator that could finally understand and actually execute his precise musical ideas. It let him become a true architect of sound. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty because this is where it gets really interesting. This is where you can see his whole background as a VJ just shine through. He's not just writing simple prompts, he's literally conducting an orchestra of algorithms. I mean, look at this. He's not just typing in "make a cool jazz song" or something generic. He is dictating, with incredible detail, the exact hardware he wants emulated, the filter automations, the audio behaviors. He's asking for a Moog Sub-37 bass, a Roland Juno Willow 6 for chords, a Rhodes piano with real tape saturation. This is genuine sonic design. And this is where you really see that fusion of tech and soul come to life. These super technical, complex prompts are creating the musical world for these intensely personal, kind of raw lyrics about wanting to break free from the corporate grind. The machine is providing the sound, but the human is providing the heart and the story. Okay, so let's zoom out a little, because this album, it isn't just a random collection of tracks. It's actually one piece of a much larger artistic vision that crosses over different types of media. This is just wow. This album is a direct continuation of his 2017 sci-fi novel, Mime Lung Music Festival. It's basically the literal soundtrack to the digital afterlife that he first dreamed up in his book almost a decade ago. It's a 9-year journey coming full circle. So you might be asking, how do you even begin to structure something like this? Well, he looked to an absolute masterpiece, David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. It's not a rock opera with a strict plot, it's more of a universe of feelings and ideas. So Brick took his best performing tracks and he sequenced them to create this cohesive emotional journey, mapping a psychological path from that feeling of alienation all the way to a kind of enlightenment. And this really gets to the heart of it all. It makes you ask a fundamental question. Why do we even create art in the first place, especially in this day and age? And the answer, in this case, is just so pure. Brick School has nothing to do with commercial success. This is an act of creative survival for him. It's about making something with deep personal meaning, while holding this profound respect for traditional musicians. And maybe most importantly, his mission is to inspire other people to pick up these new tools and find their own voice. And honestly, I don't think there's a more powerful way to frame this. For an artist like Brick, AI isn't a shortcut. It's a tool that finally closes that impossible gap between a mind's grand vision and what the hands can physically create. It's a necessary and beautiful prosthetic. The end result of all of this is a deeply personal, conceptually rich album. It's called Catching Up with Jeffrey A. Brick, and it really is a powerful testament to that enduring, fundamental human need we all have to just create and to tell our own stories. And that really leaves us with one last big question for you. If the tools were no longer a barrier, If technology could perfectly and instantly translate the worlds that exist inside your own mind, what stories would you tell? What music would you make? What would you create?